Welcome to Devils After Dark. I'm your host, Sam Woo, here with the E-Bub, the emergency backup broadcaster, Nick Villano of pucksandpitchforks.com, as Scotty is stuck at SiriusXM Liquid Metal right now. This is the Damn It Unhappy Devils recap, as the Devils lose 3-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs in a heartbreaker up in Toronto. We're going to recap the game for you. Nick, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Pretty good. We're streaming live on YouTube Live, Twitter Live. I don't know where we are on Facebook. I did the podcast a little too fast, trying to speed things up, trying to get through this night. But we'll try to go through the Unhappy Devils recap. Nick, before we begin, what were your thoughts start to finish, just real quick? Disappointing?
How in God's name do you allow two shorthanded goals in a game?
Yeah.
No, honestly.
I don't know.
Honestly, I feel like this team has done this once before this season where they allowed two shorthanded goals in a game. Like, this power play is pathetic. And, we were on air, Sam, 45 minutes ago, and I was happy-go-lucky. We were talking about the future. Everything is looking good. They made the right moves at the trade deadline. You have a team like Toronto on the ropes. You got Peter Mrazek in net, and the second period was what it was. I didn't like that they allowed a shorthanded goal, but the other goal was fine. The Toronto Maple Leafs have skill, and then you make a bad pass, it gets turned over. And Dougie Hamilton, everybody's mad that he dove a little early, sure, but he saw that Nico Hischier had the other guy, so he dove to take out the shooter, and it was the right move. The problem was he didn't take out the shooter. If he was able to take out the shooter, then a shot doesn't even happen because Nico Hischier was on top of the other guy. So he wouldn't be able to make a pass. He wouldn't be able to take a shot, but he missed. So that was the problem there. This power play is just pathetic. To have this much skill and this much ability, and when you have the advantage to be this terrible, it's too much, Sam. This team is just I said it before, I'll say it again. This is a factory of sadness.
It is. It really is. And you know what? It's very unfortunate. And let's go over quickly the Devils, Unhappy Devils recap. Starting this game, the Devils coming off confident from the back, from beating the Rangers yesterday, back-to-back games, having to travel to Toronto, meeting their new teammate, the Hamburglar, who is just about soon, they say, to come back from injury. First period, what do you think about the first period? Back and forth.
They got drilled. Nico Dawes was really good, but they got drilled. 11-3 the shots were in the first period. Not great.
Yeah. And then nobody scored. Second period, the Devils get on the board. Take a 1-0 lead on a Damon Severson power play goal, assisted by Jesper Bratt and Nico Hischier. Mm-hmm. What a goal that was. They go up 1-0 on a nice wrister. 5:03 into the second period. Power play's working. At that point, feeling good. Hey, come on, help me out here. I didn't really watch the game because we were doing
It went off the defenseman's leg. He went to pass the puck to Hughes. That's why I thought Hughes scored at first. But he went to pass the puck to Hughes, and it tipped off the guy's leg and into the 5-hole of Mrazek. So,
Yeah. But then Toronto scored shorthanded goal. Again, that's the first of two to tie it up 1-1. I mean, we'll talk about this after we just go through the score sheet. But Nico Hischier, again, answers back. 2-1 Devils. So you're thinking, okay, This is good. This is great. And then Mitch Marner scores. Now it's tied 2-2. It's even.
I mean, that was the thing, is Toronto got in the slot a lot. They were getting good opportunities because they were getting in that slot. And Marner, he's a sniper. If he gets that kind of open space, he's going to score. They had other guys get up in space. You kept Matthews off the board. They beat them with like a weird set of. Marner's obviously one of their best players, but it was just like Mikalev scored, and I forget who scored the third goal, but I was just so angry. I've lost my hat. My hat is somewhere around here because it. So you can see I'm wearing a different hat, Sam. I'm wearing the fan sided gold hat. But don't know where my Yankee hat went. That's who knows where that is. But yeah, Sam, I don't know. I don't know what to say about this team. They are ultimately frustrating to come off that Rangers game and to do this. Like, you lost in the most frustrating way possible. Just lose 6-1. Call it you were tired after the back-to-back, and just move on with our lives. Give us our Wednesday night back. Let them watch the Let's Go Devils podcast. But no, they had to lose.
Learn something or two.
They had to lose a nail biter, and it was on the power play giving up goals. It's just how can you get more frustrating than that?
Yeah, and Andreas Janssen, also known as Andre Johnson, draws a penalty. And when that happened, Nick, and I'll play the little theme music. I don't know if you know about this. Also known as Andre Johnson to this podcast.
I see the jersey.
Yeah. Down goes Johnson. Down goes Johnson. 4-minute penalty to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Do you want to decline the penalty?
Probably should have.
And I knew something bad was going to happen when they had too much time. And you just kind of like, okay, well, maybe they learned their lesson earlier. Not this time. And I'm going to say it once. I said this once on the State of the Fan address. But those drop passes, I want the Devils to start dumping the puck in, because it's happened over and over and over. These high risk, high reward plays, which was not needed because the game was tied at that point. It's not like you were down 4-2 Stanley Cup Finals with 2 minutes left and your goalie's pulled. Like, you still had time. And I understand this is a young team, but I know Jesper Bratt he'll take responsibility for that one. And I'm not going to harp on him because he's been the Devils' best player. But we saw Jack Hughes did that. I called him Mr. Turnover after several times. He's cut that down, actually. He's improved his game. But that was totally unnecessary. A lot of these things that the Devils are doing are completely unnecessary in the neutral zone. That's what's killing them. And remember, we were talking about defense? Who do you replace? No. You replace the mindset of how to attack the zone and how to attack the team. If it's not there, don't make something out of nothing. Dump the puck in, reset. You have nothing to lose there. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, you go. You were going.
So, as we recap this, because I want to finish this up, Toronto scores, shorthanded goal. Then in the end there, Dougie Hamilton takes a penalty. I thought the Maple Leafs player also dove, embellished it a little bit, but it was a penalty regardless. Absolutely. But, Toronto deserved to win this game because they didn't make the kind of mistakes that the Devils did. And this is a learning lesson. These are the growing pains. It's frustrating because we know what this team is capable of. And before I let you talk, Nick, again, I feel like a broken record. They're just undisciplined. Some of this stuff that they're doing, it's like 1 minute they flash brilliance. The next minute, it's like undisciplined. This is stuff they teach you in, mites. Dump the puck in. Don't hold on to it too long. And that's all I have to say. Go on to your rant, Nick. We're done with the Unhappy Devils recap.
Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing that kind of stood out to me. So yesterday, Lindy Ruff lays into the team, and they respond in the second period with one of the best periods of the year, right?
Yeah.
Is that how we understand it? Today, the Devils give up the go-ahead goal, shorthanded on a 4-minute power play. Lindy Ruff calls a timeout, and not 30 seconds later, we take a penalty. A very stupid, lazy frustration penalty. Not lazy. Lazy is not the right word, but it was a frustration penalty.
Yeah.
With 4 minutes left in the game.
With your
down by one.
Highest
one of the
paid
best teams in the league.
Player highest paid player did that as well. Who was supposed to be a leader of the team.
And they didn't play well coming out of the timeout. Strategy wasn't good. They kept losing the puck. Bad turnovers. Just undisciplined play. It wasn't just Hamilton. Hamilton made the big bad play, but everybody else made bad plays as well. I don't see a path where you can go forward with this power play. It played better for a couple weeks, but you're talking about maybe a month's time out of a 6-month season where it was good. I don't see a situation where you can do this again.
And you know what, Nick? You asked a question not too long ago on the last podcast. Is this sustainable? It's not. You cannot get away with this undisciplined play consistently in the NHL. You will pay the price every single time, whether it's Toronto or Arizona. It does not matter. Even Arizona made the Devils pay, back in, I think, December, right? Where we're laughing, we're just gonna roll over there, and that didn't happen. Not in the NHL. It will not
rolled
happen.
by Arizona.
And when will this team finally get it? That you have to play a certain way 60 minutes at all times. Jesper Bratt, bad play. You could play 59 minutes and 50 seconds of great hockey, but all it takes is 10 seconds of a boneheaded play. You didn't know if that drop pass, did you know if the guy was there or not? You would assumed he was there. Dump the puck in, get it in deep. It was still a tie game. There was no reason to do that. It's one thing to go for the jugular and try to make something out of nothing. Okay, that happens when you're down a goal and there's 45 seconds left. What do you have to lose? You were still in the game. You had Toronto on their heels. They had to make some great saves. They had to play well defensively. They got to learn from this because it keeps on happening over and over again.
So you say they have to learn from it, but they haven't, and they're not.
And that's the problem. And that's what pisses me off because I actually vouched for Lindy Ruff on pucksandpitchforks.com. Because why does this keep on happening?
3 games in the season now.
Yeah.
64,
this goes back to last season. There have been improvements, but why can't they sustain it throughout a 60-minute game? It's not sustainable what they're doing right now. It really isn't. And they have to work 15 times as hard when they really don't have to.
Yeah. Here's what I think. This reminds me a lot, and I'm going to go back to college basketball. My West Virginia Mountaineers used to run the press defense. It was called Press Virginia. Do you know what the press is? The full court press? Yeah. The full court press is a very exhausting form of defense. It takes a lot out of the opponent, but the problem is it also takes a lot out of your team. It is no rest time, constant movement, constant being on your game and everything. The Devils try to play a similar type of hockey like that, where not so much press, but the constant movement of it, the constant, and then, do you know the only time they don't facilitate that type of philosophy is on the power play. The power play is the one time the Devils are standing around and doing nothing. Nothing. They do nothing. They sit there. Sam, the way that they move, you and me could be on that power play because we don't want to move. I could stand on skates.
Yeah.
Can you stand on skates?
Of course I can.
You can just stand on skates. That's all they do. They just stand there. It's a philosophy problem. They have the right pieces. Getting Nathan Bastian back showed they have the pieces that they can make this work. And I didn't even notice. Did they put 2 defensemen on the power play again today?
I believe they did. I believe they did at times.
How are you putting two defensemen on the first power play?
I think they did. Again, I didn't really see it, to be honest. I didn't pay attention. But again, it goes back to this. It's the same old Devils. They come back after having a good time with the Rangers. They went on a 3-game losing streak out in Canada, Western Canada. It's just you don't know what Devils team you're going to get on any given night or even any given period. They had a 4-minute power play. 4 minutes. And they were -1. -1.
No.
Twice in this game.
I got nothing to say about that. The power play is pathetic. They needed to make major adjustments to it all season long, and they just didn't. They just refused to change the philosophy. They refused to change. All they do is they keep changing the players. This is a stubbornness of a coaching staff to say it's not our fault. The players can't execute. And I understand that when you come in with a philosophy and it doesn't work, and you've been working on it as hard as you have, it's frustrating. I get it. But at some point, you got to adjust the players that you have. The players can't put this. There are other teams that have this type of power play, and I always hate it. I always think it's the worst possible way you could do a power play. You literally make 4 guys stand on the line and then try to gain momentum again after a complete stop. That's like having a drag race where some guy's starting 30 yards behind the starting line and trying to get everybody to follow him. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what it reminds me of? Remember the Arena Football League?
Mm-hmm.
Where that one receiver who would start like 20 yards back and sprint to the line of scrimmage?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it worked there because it's freaking football, Sam. You need to throw the ball to one guy. In hockey, you need all 5 guys to be able to be in a place where they can work with the puck.
Yeah.
They're not doing it. And they're easy to stop this power play. And not only that, but it is becoming more likely that the other team scores. And that is we're back there, and it's a sad place to be.
And you cannot blame Nico Dawes on that last goal. He did everything he could. It was awful. He deserved to win this game, Nico Dawes. and he held his own. Even Shesterkin, probably would have given up a goal there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I agree.
But Nick, I know you gotta head out in a couple minutes. Really appreciate your time. You're double shifting today,
I'm
helping
sad,
out
Sam.
Scotty. Yeah, I'm sad too, but these are the growing pains. These need to be addressed, and I'm so disappointed in Brat. He'll get over it. He will learn because he responds very well the next game after boneheaded plays. Because it's frustrating because he's been doing so well. But if you've noticed, Jack Hughes has cut down his turnovers. I don't have stats to prove it. I just don't remember too many like I used to. And if they can follow his lead a bit, cutting down these turnovers, these bad things won't happen time and time again. But most important, disappointed was Dougie Hamilton because you knew he was going to slash him 5 seconds before he got there. I don't want to say 5, 3 seconds before he got there. Yeah. Even the guy that he slashed knew it, and he dove for good measure. But it was a penalty, though.
Before we go, how in God's name wasn't that Tatar Chip a penalty? He hit him in the foot and he fell. Like, what more do you need from tripping?
Yeah.
How is that, like, how? And then they just complained and they took him out of the box because he's Mark Giordano. It's Toronto. Like, get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm just so disappointed. I'm disappointed. And I know the fans are. We're getting the rapid reaction right now. I'm reading some of the comments, Nick. Hold on a sec here. Just wanted to looking here. The ref was bad, Ramona Rice. Do you think the refs were bad? I didn't think they were bad at all.
Yeah, they weren't good.
They weren't good, but I don't think they were that bad.
That Tatar play was pretty terrible. I've never seen anything that bad.
Wyatt Horning, Facebook Live. Every time Hamilton is on the ice during a PP, I expect a penalty or a shorty. Same here. I'd agree. I get nervous when Hamilton's out there.
No, every time he's on the ice 23 times a game, and he makes more good plays than bad plays. Like this Hamilton hate, we're just looking for people to hate again. I'm sick of this stuff.
No, he said during the power play. During the power play. That's what he said, not during the entire game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, he hasn't played well since he came back on the power play, but he's still our best power play guy. He is. He's better than Severson. He's better than Subban. He's better than Smith. If I were the Devils, I would just play Hamilton and Smith for the rest of the season. Get them going. I don't know what's wrong with Hamilton. Maybe he doesn't like the shield. Nico didn't like the shield, if you remember. Remember when Nico had the shield and he played worse? He took some time to get used to the shield. So maybe give him time to get used to the shield. I don't know, but that's going to be it for me, Sam. But yeah.
Okay, Nick.
I did write about it earlier this week. Don't hate on Hamilton. I think we're fine. He's worth the money. It's going to be fine.
It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Nick, thank you very much. I'm going to go solo for a little bit and read off some comments and all that. Thank you very much, and we'll talk later.
See you guys.
Yep. PucksandPitchforks.com. Editor-in-Chief, Nick Villano. Thank you very much, Nick. All right, so it's just me and you right now. Scotty got stuck at work at SiriusXM Liquid Metal. All right, it sucked. It was bad. I don't like it. You don't like it. But we're going to have to deal. We're just going to have to deal. And that's just the way it is. Devils lose 3-2 to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Heartbreaking fashion, if you're just joining us. Some of the comments put Tortorella behind the bench and the entire mindset will change. Even for the short term, let him at them. I think the team knows, Eric. I think the team knows. But they got to know that it's counterproductive when you take these type of big risks. When that drop pass happened, I was just like, oh no. Oh no. And as the puck goes down the ice and Toronto scored, it's like deja vu. Here we go again. Here we go again. And it was just disappointing. Nothing more to say. Nothing more you can say. Taking your questions and comments. Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live. Devils lose 3-2 in a heartbreaker in Toronto. All that good feeling, and I expected this, all that good feeling beating the Rangers, 5 unanswered goals. Well, that good feeling is gone. Thank you very much, New Jersey Devils. Steve Tardis, if you and I kept making the same mistakes at work, would we still have our job? No, because our bosses will tell our clients, stay patient. Stay patient, my friend. Be patient. That's what would happen, right? Steve Tardis? LOL. Rob Malicki, that's why it has to be amazing to be a Devils coach. Can't blame Nico Dawes on this one. You can't blame the rookie goaltending. He did his part. I thought the team played pretty well tonight. But these kind of things can jeopardize a lot of momentum, a lot of confidence, and could derail the faithful that believe in you, the New Jersey Devils fans. I want to thank Nick again for filling in as the E-Bub tonight. Emergency backup broadcaster. We'll be back next game, Devils After Dark, after the game. Devils lose tonight 3-2. Heartbreaker to the Toronto Maple Leafs. I want to thank all those watching, staying up tonight. It was a bad one. It was a bad one tonight, everyone. It was a bad one in the end there. But like I said, that's part of the process. What are you going to do? Thank you all for attending this podcast, Devils After Dark. Not as we planned. Just want to give a shout out to Andreas Janssen. Hope you're okay. Taking that slash, taking one for the team. Too bad they weren't able to convert. Maybe next time. This is Devils After Dark. Till next time, let's go Devils.